Of course, the Academic Times Journal is launching soon with three distinctive graphic publications as a journal to showcase and also empower students across all educational levels, while the journal and the tertiary page will seek to ensure that tertiary students, research makers and also others are impacted by the contributions to institutional and national development as well. So be on the lookout for the Academic Journal, which will be coming out very, very shortly. Also, we are supported by other partners on this. Don't forget that this is also made possible to you by Syntex Tanks. And of course, have you thought of that ideal Christmas present? You need to be considering that tank, because a strong, a tough, that's what Syntex Tank is sharing with you tonight. Don't forget that we also do have Pepsodent on board, and the Pepsodent Cavity Fighter toothpaste is your solution to that dental challenge that you may be having. And of course, every time we eat, we know that the food and sugars are trapped in between our teeth, and that's why the Pepsodent Cavity Fighter will come in to help as well. But tonight, our focus, as always, is on the fight against corruption, which is key to what we do here. But there's a special context for tonight, because we're looking at that context that we laid the foundation on, which has got to do with state lands and asset, protecting them. Earlier today, the Oral Task Force was about town, of course, visiting some of the state assets led by the chairperson of that committee, Samuel Okudzeto, who's my guest for tonight here on PM Express. Of course, you see him there marching on and leading a team of some other members of the Oral Task Force, including the likes of the former Auditor General Daniel Yao Domelevo and the others who joined him today. Of course, to make that rounds and to ascertain what's been happening really to our state's assets in the context of state lands and properties. There you see him there visiting some of the sites, and that's the Agric Mechanization Center around Cantonments, where he's been today. Shocking revelations coming up, and it's a good time to welcome the chairperson who's also joining us via Zoom now, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here on PM Express. Adam Senanu is also co-chair of Citizens Movement Against Corruption. He will be joining us later. But Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, if you're with us, what a pleasure to have you tonight after a very, very long day it has been for you. And of course, I can tell from your eyes that you're a bit tired. But you've been seeing the very last few hours of the vetting, day one of the vetting in Parliament, and it's been all about you, coincidentally. You've been out there working, and the committee's been discussing your work. But help us understand, really, when we talk about oral, are you backed by the Constitution in any way?
Well, thank you very much. Good evening to you. Good evening to the distinguished viewers of Joy TV. It is important to stress that the work we are doing, it is a national calling. The Ghanaian people said enough is enough, and overwhelmingly endorsed His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's campaign message. That message of accountability, that the looting was just too much, and that it was time to embark on an aggressive program to recover all the loot. Look, for the first time in the history of our country, we have government officials who die, and in their wills, we find that Achimata Forest is in their wills. They've willed it forever to family members. Our Ramsar sites, for the first time in the history of our country, you have cabinet ministers who decided that they will buy our SNIT hotels with bravado, with audacity, with impunity. If it had not taken all of us as a people rising, organized labor, giving us the final push. Remember the protests, the demonstrations we went on, the Gachis, the Lachis, the youth of our country. President Akufo-Addo was justifying that sale. The board members of SNIT justifying that sale of our SNIT hotels, profitable hotels. Only a few weeks ago, the Labadi Beach Hotel posted profits over 16 million Ghana cedis that they paid to SNIT. If we had not resisted, all of that 16 million Ghana cedis profits will have gone into one man's pocket, one cabinet minister's
And when
pocket.
you say this, kudos to you, of course, for the tremendous work you've done on that. But the criticism that faces you is that why not use the laid down state institutions? You were in Parliament, you supported the creation of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, for instance. There's Yoko, there's Shraj. You're not using any of this, are you?